What exactly is it that makes a man? Is it the balls? Is it the size of the balls? Is it how they name their balls? Is it the hair on their balls? Is it the color of their balls? Is it the taste of their balls? Is it how they dress their balls? Is it where they use their balls? Is it on who they use their balls? Or is it just not flinching when you get kicked in the balls? Shit. Sorry, dude. I forgot the vet took your balls. Well, this was pointless. Hey there, you bastards, and welcome back to another video. This time I'm gonna do a video about top 10 of my favorite male actors, and since this is male actors list, I'm gonna use my manly voice this whole time while I'm... Okay, back to using chipmunk voice. Cool. Yeah, I figured I'd do my top 10 favorite male actors list. Cause why not? Now, pay attention to the wording. Favorite male actors, not the best male actors ever. I mean, cause how do you define the best actor ever? I mean, yeah, I know there are some parameters you could go by, but still, there are tons of actors. I mean, it's so hard cause one person can be good at something and another person can be good at something. Like, I think Stallone is better actor than Schwarzenegger, but I think Schwarzenegger is definitely better Terminator than Stallone would have ever been. I mean, the whole being emotionless and robotic just fits Schwarzenegger more. And Steven Seagal is the best actor playing Steven Seagal, which is just, well, it's a role of a lifetime that lasts apparently through your whole life. Numbers 10 through 5, those change like, they might change even daily, you know. I change them when I change my pants pretty much. It depends on which actor I'm binge watching, pretty much that might affect the number 10 through 5. My top 4 are pretty much solids who tend to stick on my list always. Well, my top 3 has been my top 3 since, I don't know, like 20 years now almost. I'll try to be quick with this list, so you know, brief introductions of who the guy is, who's next on the list. And I'm gonna name 3 of my favorite movies from them, and let's start this fucking list. Top 10 my favorite male actors. Number 10 spot goes to Wesley Snipes.
You ever play roulette?
On occasion.
Well, let me give you a word of advice.
Always bet on black.
That's right, Wesley Snipes. I fucking love Wesley Snipes. He's so goddamn awesome. 3 of my favorite movies from Wesley Snipes has gotta be Blade 1.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
I'm not sure if I want to count Blade 2 as other of these 3. I'm gonna say Blade 1 and Blade 2, those count as one movie. And then I'm gonna say White Man Can't Jump, because that is fucking awesome. Woody Harrelson, I love him too. He unfortunately didn't make this list. I haven't watched lots of Woody Harrelson movies lately, so... And my favorite movie from Wesley Snipes is, well, he's kind of co-starring it. He's the villain, and that is Demolition Man. I fucking love Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Fuck you!
Blade movies are probably my favorite Marvel movies. The whole new MCU, it can't even hold a fucking candle or fucking, I don't know, jockstrap. The Blade movies. Yeah, if we look at Wesley Snipes as an actor, I wouldn't say he's the greatest actor of all time. He just fits really good in those action roles. And I actually really liked him in the new movie with Eddie Murphy, the fucking Dolomite. That was fucking fantastic movie. I loved that movie, and Wesley Snipes was fucking awesome in it too. You know, I loved him in a more comedic role. It was just fun and different thing to see from him. So you know. But anyway, I'm gonna keep these short. So you know, Wesley Snipes, fucking love him. Simon Phoenix, Demolition Man. That's one of the greatest characters one of the greatest villains ever, in my opinion. You know, it's just so comical. It's more cartoony and over the top. He's just cool. He's so fucking badass. Moving on. Number 9 on my list is Kurt Russell. He's actually in my all-time favorite movie. Well, we might as well go over the 3 movies that I prefer from him the best, which are my favorite Kurt Russell movies. And obviously The Thing, that's my all-time favorite movie. If you watch my top 10 favorite movies list, you know that.
I have to talk to you. I'm tired of talking, Fix. I just want to get up to my shack and get drunk.
Also, Escape from New York is there.
In 24 hours, and you're a free man.
24 hours, huh?
I'm making you an offer.
Bullshit.
Straight, just like I said.
I'll think about it.
No time. Give me an answer.
Get a new president.
And I had to put Big Trouble in Little China.
It's all in the reflexes.
I mean, everyone knows The Thing. It's always on people's favorite movie lists. Well, not always, but very often. Not gonna go too much into that. Fantastic horror movie. Best movie ever made. Escape from New York. That is another John Carpenter directed movie where Kurt Russell is also in. And weirdly, Big Trouble in Little China is also John Carpenter directed movie where Kurt Russell is in. John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, when they are together, it's magic. It's magic. It's what sex feels like. When you watch movies where Carpenter directs and Kurt Russell acts, it's like having sex. I haven't had sex, so I don't know what sex feels like, but I think that's how sex feels like. I'm pretty sure. Kurt Russell is such an amazing actor. I do love him, but my favorite roles from him are the ones where he's being this sarcastic asshole. I mean, Escape from LA, which is the sequel to New York, that one, I feel like that's kind of underrated too. I mean, yeah, sure, it's not nowhere near Escape from New York, but he's still such a good character in that. Snake Plissken is one of the best action characters probably ever made.
Nobody draws until this hits the ground. You ready? Draw.
Such a fantastic guy or character. And Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. That's such a weird movie because Kurt Russell, he's being kind of advertised as the main hero, but he's kind of the sidekick, but he doesn't really get it in the movie. It's so fantastic. I fucking love that movie. And in that one, his sarcastic assholeness just really shines. He's so good. He's such a, how do you put this, stereotypical dumb American. I'm not trying to insult my American viewers, but if you think of stereotypical dumb Americans, he plays it in that movie, and it is just so fucking good. I love it. Anyway, moving on. And number 8 on my list is a guy who is skinny, even though everyone calls him fat, because he's too young fat. Get it? Who writes these jokes? Well, that's right, I do. Anyway, once I started planning this video, of course I had to go, to different continents to think who's my favorite actor from those, and Asia is a pretty big market that I love watching, so I was really trying to think, who's my favorite Asian actor ever, and I almost kind of wanted to put Bruce Lee on this list, but he hasn't done that many movies, unfortunately he passed away way too early, which fucking sucks. But I couldn't really justify putting him on this list. And obviously there was Jackie Chan and Jet Li and Donnie Yen. But I gotta be honest, as much as I love those guys too, Chow Yun-fat was always my favorite, because him and John Woo, they invented pretty much the whole slow-mo, double, wielding pistols and jumping, and all that shit. They pretty much came up with that. They called it a bullet ballet or something like that. It was a ballet of bullets.
Hey guys!
哇！听到俾啲咩炸藥嚟啊？炸風勁夠啦！點解咁勁啊？想唔想試下啊？我再攞俾你啊！thank you，
So fucking fantastic. It's still today, it's some of the best action movies those guys make together, you know, John Woo and Chow Yun-fat. So my 3 favorite movies from Chow Yun-fat are obviously Hard Boiled, which was on my top 10 movie list. And then there's The Killer, which almost made it to my top 10 movie list, but I didn't want to put 2 kind of very similar movies in that. And the third movie, I had to really think, cause do I really want to put another John Woo and Chow Yun-fat? Because Chow Yun-fat has done a lot of amazing movies, you know, without John Woo also. Like Tiger on the Beat, I remember really loving that movie, and I remember it has the best cinematic chainsaw duel ever. Fucking fantastic, but I don't remember too much about the movie. I should have watched it before this. Chow Yun-fat has also done kung fu movies and shit like that. He's just not as well known from those, like Postman Fights Back, which is one movie I always wanted to see. I'm just really curious about the name. Did he deliver a fucking newspaper to the wrong address, or what? Why does he have to fight back? I don't know, apparently they take mail really fucking serious in Hong Kong or China. And like I said, I could have put John Woo and Chow Yun-fat movies, Better Tomorrow 1 and 2, those are fucking amazing action movies. And Once a Thief, that's not as good, but it's still pretty fucking awesome. But I'm gonna put City on Fire. That is fucking awesome movie. It's basically, if you see Reservoir Dogs, well, Quentin Tarantino stole a lot of stuff from that movie into Reservoir Dogs. You can say steal because Tarantino himself says he stole stuff, and that's actually the kind of theft that I don't even mind, because Reservoir Dogs is a fucking fantastic movie also. But yeah, I'm gonna put City on Fire. If you haven't seen that, and especially if you're a huge Reservoir Dogs fan, go check that out. It's a fantastic movie. And Chow Yun-fat is a fantastic actor. I love him. He's awesome. Yeah. Number 7 on this list actually has a bit of an edge when it comes to all the other actors on this list, because he's had basically 2 different careers as 2 totally different looking people. I mean, you could almost say that there's 2 different guys with same name in this business. I'm talking about Mickey Rourke.
Anybody can be a drunk.
Anybody can be a non-drunk. It takes a special talent to be a drunk.
It was the 80s and early 90s Mickey Rourke, and then he came back to acting. I think he did like something small, but you know, he went in boxing, and after that he came back to acting, and holy shit, he looked like a different man.
Hey man, don't get too attached to things. Learn to let go.
But it kind of worked in his favor in many ways. I mean, first there's the 80s and early 90s Mickey Rourke, which was pretty much the guy who every other guy wanted to be and every woman wanted to be with. So, you know, he had that going on. 9.5 weeks, Jesus, chicks loved it, and I jacked off that movie. We didn't have internet back then, you know, so it's not like we had this massive collection of porn in our, you know, fingertips. So, you know, you had to get what your mother kind of bought and for herself, and, you know, just rewind the good parts. Basically softcore porn. But yeah, the 80s Mickey Rourke, he had that kind of face that, I don't know if he did any modeling or anything like that, but man, he was a pretty boy. And of course he went into boxing, and after that he came back, and he wasn't that pretty anymore. I think he had more character after that in some ways. But yeah, he basically did fucking awesome movies during both of his eras. in Hollywood. He actually got kind of kicked out of Hollywood because he was, well, speaking his mind about some Hollywood bigwig. I don't know. I don't remember. I just watched that documentary. I can't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, he got blacklisted by Hollywood. But the reason he got back was because, well, the newer guys like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino and a bunch of others, they really didn't give a fuck about the bigwig who was in the 80s in Hollywood. So, they were like, if I want to hire him, I'll hire him. And I'm glad they did, because after his comeback, he did fucking awesome movies. One of the my favorite movies, which is on this top 3 of Mickey Rourke movies, The Wrestler.
I'm the one who was supposed to take care of everything. I'm the one who was supposed to make everything okay for everybody. But it just didn't work out like that.
Now the other movies are his earlier stuff, Angel Heart.
How did you, hear about me? I guess you guys just looked in the phone book, huh?
That is fucking awesome. I just watched that. It had been so long since I last saw that, and it is a fantastic movie. Robert De Niro plays. Well, I don't want to kind of spoil that because it's one of those things you have to kind of interpret yourself who he actually is. I mean, there are pretty strong signs what or who he is, but yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Angel Heart. If you like kind of horror thriller movies, go check it out. And of course, my favorite fucking Mickey Rourke movie might not be other people's favorite Mickey Rourke movie, because it's kind of guilty pleasure movie, but Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man.
You know that gun costs about $2 every time you fire it. That's $2 a bullet.
Well, how many I hit?
You spent $12 and didn't hit a goddamn thing.
There ain't nothing more cooler than Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson together. And Mickey Rourke plays such an amazing, he's kind of doofus, not the quickest guy in the room, but he's just so fantastic. And, the main thing is, they're fucking cool. I mean, Mickey Rourke even says in the movie,
Out there, it's better to be dead and cool than alive and uncool.
So there you go, Mickey Rourke. Next, number 6 on this list, and that guy is Willem Dafoe.
Huey Lewis in the news. Great stuff. I just bought it on my way here. You heard it?
Let's be honest. Nobody else looks like that son of a bitch. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I mean, I fucking love his face. He has such a unique facial features. The facial features and just the kind of, I don't know, the whole facial expressions and the voice combined to that face. I don't know, there's just something magical about the face. If I was to actually make a list of greatest actors ever, Willem Dafoe would probably be highest from this list on that list. Probably top 3 easily. Just such a phenomenal actor. Anyway, my 3 favorite movies from Willem Dafoe. Number 1, of course, I'm a huge action fan, so Boondock Saints.
For a few seconds, this place was Armageddon. There was a firefight!
That movie is fucking phenomenal. Heard people were kind of against it first, that Willem Dafoe shouldn't do that movie, but I'm so fucking happy he did, because it is just fucking fantastic movie. Next movie has to be Platoon. I fucking love that movie.
Chris, he been resurrected.
Really good war movie. It's one of my all-time favorite war movies. I haven't really thought about what my favorite war movie would be, but Platoon would be probably in top 3 easily also. Also, I love Charlie Sheen, so that helps too. And when it came to the third movie, I was really between 2 movies. I wanted to put The Lighthouse in kinda, because I think that is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, because I'm not really like that big of a fan when new movies come out, but that movie, it just blew me away. It was so fucking awesome. There's one movie that I fucking loved also, that if I was able to be scarred by movies, this would have done it. Well, Jaw scarred me, but I was kid then, so you know, that doesn't count now, because I'm an adult. I have my big boy pants. But the movie I'm talking about is The Antichrist. Holy shit. There's still one or two scenes I kind of have to look away when they happen. I've like once forced myself to watch those scenes, but holy shit, those are tough to watch. And if you've seen that movie, you might know what I'm talking about, but I kind of don't want to spoil that for people. But let's just say it's not friendliest movie when it comes to your genitals. I mean, even that scene now, just thinking about it, I get this kind of, what do you call that? Compassion, pain, something like that. You know, you feel the character's pain. Moving on. 5 down, 5 to go. And number 5 on this list is a guy who, if I would have done this list like, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have probably ignored this guy, even though I like his, 90s movies. Those are fucking awesome, but still, I don't know. I wouldn't have probably put him anywhere near this list. I just wasn't feeling him that much. Anyway, the guy I'm talking about is Nicolas fucking Cage.
If you had told me 3 days ago I'd be standing here with one arm and one testicle! Trying to reason with you, bitches!
I mean, sure, The Rock and Gone in 60 Seconds, Con Air, all those were fucking awesome movies. Awesome action movies, I loved those. And he had some other movies too, which were great, Amos and Andrew, nobody really talks about that movie, but him with Samuel L. Jackson, I love that movie, that is fucking awesome. Around 2014 or 15, somewhere around there, he made a comeback, kinda, in an indie movie. Well, actually, he had been doing movies all the way up to there too, but I just kinda totally missed those, After like National Treasure, I wasn't really that big into him and or that movie, and I might have watched few movies here and there, but mostly just skipped Nicolas Cage movies. But I just saw around 3 or 4 years ago, I saw the movie which came out in 2014 or 15, and that movie is on this list of 3 favorite movies from Nicolas Cage, and that was Mandy. And holy shit, that blew my mind. I mean, it is slow, so it's not for everyone, but man, it gets bloody. And also, how can you not love Nicolas Cage in tidy whities in a bathroom just screaming with a goddamn liquor bottle? I love that movie. Also, another movie on my top 3 Nicolas Cage movies came couple years after that, and that was Colorado Space, which is I believe that's one of those H.P. Lovecraft movies.
You don't get a lot of milk from alpaca. It takes great patience, technique, and of course you have to be very gentle with the boobs.
It is based on some of his stories. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that's the case. It was fucking awesome. That was probably the best Thing-like movie after The Thing. I mean, I love body horror, and that movie, it really delivered on that. It was, it got some messed up scenes. And honestly, Nicolas Cage has been doing just really fun movies after the Mandy movie, like Mom and Dad and Willy's Wonderland, and the latest movie where he plays himself. And there's also that guy, damn it, who's the Mandalorian, and now he's on the fucking Last of Us series, and well, fuck it, it's that guy. But the movie is fucking awesome, the unbearable weight of massive talent. I don't remember the whole name, it was so long, but the fucking movie is great. Mandy and Colorado Space, and my 3rd movie from Nicolas Cage is actually one of his 90s movies, and that is Face Off.
Do you have protection?
What, you mean like condoms?
Protection.
John Woo directed it. I love John Woo, I love Nicolas Cage, I love John Travolta. It was just a fucking fantastic action movie. I mean, it's so fun, it's so kind of stupid in ways, but man, that movie, it fucking delivers. Who doesn't love Nicolas Cage trying to be John Travolta while John Travolta is trying to be Nicolas Cage? It's a no-brainer. You gotta love that movie. And next we get to number 4 on my list, and this guy I was really kind of fighting with myself. Should I put him number 3 and switch number 3 to number 4? But well, I ended up keeping them this way. This one's number 4, and you might consider this shared number 3 spot almost, like, because I can't decide which one I like better. But number 4 is Rutger Hauer.
What's your problem, jackoff? You blind?
Yeah. What's your excuse?
Yeah, Rutger Hauer, he is, again, just like Willem Dafoe, he just has that kind of unique aura, unique persona. When you see him on screen, you know that's Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer, I'm not even sure how you pronounce his last name or first name for that matter. I just say Rutger and Hauer. Always been one of my favorite actors, so he was kind of sure thing on this list. He was up to this spot, the surest thing. Obviously, my favorite movie from Rutger Hauer is The Hitcher, if you've seen my top 10 movie list.
Where are you from?
Second movie I put on this list, boy, these were hard to pick, but I went with Flesh and Blood, or sometimes it's spelled flesh plus blood. There's the plus sign.
She can eat, but can she cook?
Let's find out. Making some food. Come on, go to the kitchen.
Fucking awesome medieval movie. It's directed by Paul Verhoeven, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was fucking directed by Paul Verhoeven. I'm pretty sure. I could just check that, but we'll go with my gut feeling. Anyway, third movie that I wanted to pick from Rutger Hauer. Ooh, this was a tough one because, well, first of all, there's Blade Runner, which is absolute, sci-fi classic. There's no denying that. But I did feel like Rutger Hauer maybe wasn't enough in that movie to justify its being on this list. Well, anyway, I didn't go with that. Also, Blind Theory, which is fucking awesome. Wedlock, which is, well, okay, Wedlock maybe not, but it's still a fun movie. But the movie I picked was Hobo with a Shotgun.
Maybe you'll end up like me. A hobo with a shotgun.
I just watched it again, like, a couple of weeks ago. It's so fucking fantastic. It's like a grindhouse movie, grindhouse exploitation style, but it also has kind of the Trauma feel to it, if you know Trauma, which did the Toxic Avengers and all those, hyper gory and kind of porn-ish type of movie. Well, I'm saying they were porn, but lots of boobs and lots of gore, and they were just kind of all out there with the stupidity. But yeah, Hobo with a Shotgun is kind of in the same spirit as those movies, and I fucking love it. I love Rutger Hauer. Number 3 on this list is a guy who actually hasn't starred that many movies in the end, even though he's made a fucking long career. And that guy is Danny Trejo. The first 10, 15, I don't know, maybe 20 years I've seen him in movies. He never even starred in those, and I always loved him. I mean, he might have been like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes at times. But his face, it just stuck. The first movie where I really remember paying attention to him and, remember like, hey, that guy is fucking cool, was Desperado, which is one of my all-time favorite action movies. I love it. But Danny Trejo in that, he looked like a fucking badass. I mean, holy shit. I mean, he wasn't that much in it, but that one scene where he starts throwing fucking knives at people, he got... He opens the vest and there's the... it's just so fucking awesome. He's just so badass. Danny Trejo is probably the most badass actor ever. I mean, like, legit. I mean, Jesus, his face. You might notice a pattern here where I kind of like actors who has facial features that kind of get stuck with you, you know, that separate from the group. I'm not really that into like male model types or something like that. I like my actors to have character just by being there. And Danny Trejo, that guy has fucking tons of character. There's no one like him when it comes to playing like prisoners or, you know, just tough guys, you know, gang members, anything. But yeah, when it actually came time to pick 3 favorite movies from him, well, that was kind of tough because he hasn't really starred in that many movies in the end. I mean, he started getting main star movies in kind of old age, you know, like, I don't know, 2005, 6, somewhere around there after that. And he had been in the movie business for fucking ages. I mean, I think he started like in the early 80s. And it's weird because after I saw him in Desperado, you started seeing him in everything. I didn't even fucking realize how many movies this guy was actually in. I mean, I was like, Death Wish 4 with Josh Brolin. He just blows him up in a restaurant.
I know you. I never forget a face.
What the hell?
Wedlock with Rutger Hauer. He's one of the prisoners because, you know, Rutger Hauer goes into prison. He has like 2 scenes and they last probably, I don't know, 30 seconds combined. At one scene, he's standing there in the line, and in the second scene, he gets his, you know, throat slit pretty much so. And that's kind of common theme when it comes to him in movies, especially the early movies. He just kind of pops up and gets killed. When he got his, I think this was his first like main star role, was, you know, obviously Machete. That was fucking awesome. He was so badass, Grindhouse style action movie, bloody and all. Steven Seagal played the main villain. That was fucking, that was a role I didn't know Steven Seagal could do, but he did it, and you know, he was pretty good in it. But yeah, I fucking loved it. You know, Machete. That is probably my favorite movie from Danny Trejo. Also, second movie, Machete Kills.
Fuck her up, lover boy! Suck on this!
I know I said earlier during Wesley Snipes Blade 1 and 2, I kind of count those as one because they're the same series, but it's not like there's too much choices when it comes to Danny Trejo. I could put Desperado here because that is one of my all-time favorite movies, but he's just not in it that much. So I'm gonna put Machete Kills, and third movie, I'm gonna put Badass.
Are you okay?
Oh, wonderful. I haven't had a man handle me like that in 45 years.
Which is just another fucking awesome movie where he plays a, you know, old person, elderly, senior citizen, and he fucking kicks ass. Also the sequel, Badass 2, was it Badasses? There he's with Danny Glover, who is also kind of badass, and that is fucking fantastic movie also. Third one wasn't as good, but still I do recommend watch that if you like 1 and 2, you know. Still pretty fucking awesome. When it comes to starring roles, he's had like there was Bullet, which was, well, that was, you know, pretty okay action movie. Then there was one where he was collecting like loans or something. That was comedy or something. Yeah, I gotta be honest, that one I did not like. That wasn't really that great. But when he plays a badass, he does it better than anyone else. And that's just a biological fact. That's scientific fact. But yeah, Machete Kills, and Badass. Let's move on. Okay, so we're down to 2 more, and second place on this list. Well, this is kind of obvious. The only thing that's not obvious is why is this man not number 1? But there are reasons for me, which are kind of personal, but you know, fuck it. This guy could be number 1 and probably should be number 1 in everyone's list, because I've always said this guy, if he played every role in every movie that's ever been made, it would be 0 bad movies. And number 2 is of course Bruce Campbell.
My God, they're real.
Do I even need to talk about this? Bruce Campbell? I mean, what can I say? The jaw, the voice, just the whole kind of personality. And I know Bruce Campbell has been in some really low budget kind of crappy movies, but the crappiness was never Bruce's fault. Bruce he was always perfect. Bruce elevates wherever he is in. Obviously, when you think about top 3 Bruce's movies, Evil Dead 2.
Hey, I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
Swallow this. That is my number 1 Bruce Campbell movie. That was also on my top 10 all-time favorite movies list, so you know. The next movie I picked was Baba Hotep, which is fucking underrated as fuck.
Jack, no offense, but President Kennedy was a white man.
That's how clever they are. They dyed me this color, all over. Can you think of a better way to hide the truth than that?
That is fantastic. Bruce Campbell plays Elvis. You think the new Elvis movie has great Elvis? Fuck that. Bruce Campbell can fucking act that guy into a goddamn swamp and piss on him and set him on fire. I actually haven't even seen the new Elvis movie, so I don't really know, but from the trailers, I wasn't really that interested. So, I don't know. Just didn't seem like my kind of movie. But yeah, Baba Hotep. Bruce Campbell is Elvis, and he's in a senior citizens home, you know, one of those places where old people are. And basically he switched place with an impersonator. So, you know, the impersonator dies, but the real Elvis actually lives. And in the senior citizens home, or what the fuck you call those, him and John F. Kennedy, who is black, which is just, you gotta watch the movie. It's so fucking genius, the comedy and all. They have to fight the mummy, you know, the Egyptian mummy, not someone's mom. Egyptian mummy. And third movie I wanted to put here is, you might say it's kind of continuation to Evil Dead movies in a way, but it's kind of taking a piss out of those movies. And it's a movie called My Name is Bruce, where Bruce Campbell basically plays Bruce Campbell.
I got problems of my own. Who are you?
I'm your good nature, Bruce. Now you heed my warning. If Jeff goes up against Gwandy all by himself, oh, he'll be cut to ribbons. You've got to help the dear boy.
Ah, don't listen to him. Kid's an asshole. Fuck him. Nobody lives forever.
There's this small town that has this Chinese demon or ghost that's, well, basically terrorizing the people. So there's this teenager who's seen all the Evil Dead movies, so he thinks Bruce Campbell is actually Ash, and he does that shit for living, so he kidnaps Bruce Campbell, takes him into the town to get rid of the Chinese, ghost demon. It's fucking fantastic. Those are my 3 picks for Bruce Campbell movies. Evil Dead 2, Baba Hotep, and My Name is Bruce. Watch them all. Like 10 times, dozen times, 100 times, if you're up for it, you know. You don't have to do that on the same day. Just do it. Do it now. So we're down to my all-time favorite actor, and this is probably gonna be a huge fucking shock to people. I mean, trust me, I kind of get shit from my friends all the time for thinking this is the best, not best actor, my all-time favorite actor. I mean, he's been my all-time favorite actor ever since I was a pretty small kid. After seeing 10 through 2, which are all just fucking phenomenal, this one might seem a bit weird on this list. Well, maybe not even a bit weird, but kind of off and not belonging on this list in a lot of people's opinions, but I say fuck those people. Anyway, might as well get it over with. My all-time favorite actor is Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm just pausing because, you know, I'm giving you time to recover from the impact I just gave you. Look, I'm not gonna say he's the best actor. This was just my favorite actor, so you know, yeah. But I'll say this, I think he's underrated as an actor. But I also do get that it's the accent. I think he's getting kind of critic too hard a lot of times. And I'm not saying all his movies are fucking masterpieces. I mean, Jesus, Derailed is one of the shittiest movies I've ever seen. Steven Seagal's train terrorist movie was better. Under Siege 2. Derailed is also a train terrorist movie. But don't watch that. No. My actually earliest memory there was this place where you go and rent movies. There was in this small town of ours where I still live. I've always lived here. I don't remember how old I was, but I was there with my big brother, and it's probably my earliest memory of my big brother too. I mostly remember me being pretty dick whenever he came to visit, because he lived with his dad, so we didn't see like that often. Probably like a couple times a year, and I was always being kind of dick. I do know that, but I remember once we were in the rental place, and he was kind of thinking between two Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. The other one was Death Warrant, which I'm glad we didn't pick that one, even though I do like that movie too. We went with Lionheart, which is fucking fantastic movie. It's one of those movies where Van Damme just does those fights, tournament style kind of fights, but it's not like tournament, it's just illegal street fights. And even that movie actually has it has quite a bit of heart if you just really can get past some of the things. I'd say it's a fantastic movie. But when it comes to my favorite movies from Jean-Claude Van Damme, two were like easy picks. Bloodsport, obviously. And Hard Target.
I said get lost. Now take your big stick and your boyfriend and find a bus to catch.
I'm still kind of having hard times deciding which one I like better, which is my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It could be Hard Target, because John Woo directed that, but goddammit, Bloodsport is such a classical, so I always kind of maybe lean more on Hard Target, but Bloodsport is so good too. But when it came to the third movie, that was really hard, because I wanted to put Kickboxer there, which is one of those all-time Jean-Claude Van Damme classics people always like, Van Damme fans like, at least. After seeing that after a long time, the whole ending fight is it's a great movie, I do love that. It has best dance scene ever, but the ending fight, it was kind of edited, well, not shit, but the editing wasn't as tight and good, so I don't know, it kind of bothered me, so I dropped it a notch or two. And the second one I kind of wanted to put there was Universal Soldier, which I fucking love because I'm a huge Dolph Lundgren fan also. Then I was like, therethe's one movie I gotta watch again, because I watched it when it was released, and I had to watch it again, and that movie was JCVD.
Je suis montré le pauvre à riche et je me suis dit pourquoi on n'est pas tous comme ça, comme moi. Pourquoi les privilèges? Moi je suis un mec comme un autre. Ça me fait mal au cœur de voir des gens qui n'ont pas ce que j'ai, en sachant qu'ils n'ont pas ce que j'ai, et aussi en sachant qu'ils ont des qualités.
Well, the people who say Van Damme can't act shit, go watch JCVD. First of all, it's kind of a comedy drama movie, so it's not action. He plays himself. He kind of shits on himself there too. It's kind of this self-irony there, and self-deprecating humor. It's just so fantastic. I fucking loved it. And also what helps that movie and his acting in it, the language is French. So, they speak French. So that fucking helps. The accent isn't a problem when he's talking French. When he's talking French in that movie, he actually sounds like a real, I'd say, really good actor. He is really good actor in French, and I'd say still, in English in somewhat, if you can get over the accent, but still, I do highly recommend you go watch that movie if you don't mind subtitles, if there's some kind of fucking dubbed version and you watch that, fuck you, because, that's kind of defeats the purpose of seeing Van Damme play or speak French, when he can, in my opinion, really act. Also, one of the reasons why I also kind of rate him as high as I do, well, being number one. You know, when you're a kid, you get inspired by movies. You know, a lot of friends were, you know, watching like Rocky movies and shit like that, and that made them want to do at least some exercising. None of my friends are like bodybuilders, so that didn't last. I'm not a fucking bodybuilder either. But because of Jean-Claude Van Damme, I think I exercised during my whole lifetime. I still do when I watch his movies. I get all excited, you know, especially, you know, Bloodsport and Kickboxer, those, you know, fighting movies. He got me to actually move and, you know, do something, which I think nowadays movies are really missing out. They don't inspire people to, you know, take care of their, you know, physical health and stuff like that. There's just not like icons like that, unless you go to the lower budget action movies, but obviously those are not going to be as good as the 80s action movies, you know, a lot of the times. I'm not saying they're all worse, but, you know, there are still like, you know, Scott Adkins, you know, I mean, that guy is also really inspiring when you look at him move. But yeah, honestly, without Van Damme, I think I might have suffered a stroke a long time ago. I don't want to rant too much. I've probably been ranting way too much, and this is probably a long video, but Van Damme, he inspires me, and I just love his fucking movies. Except D-Rev, that's still shit. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop this and, like Van Damme, I'm gonna split. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the fucking split. You're not even gonna see my head, because I'm gonna be here doing the split. Almost did it. Well, kinda. That's worse pain than after seeing that Antichrist scene. Oh, I fucking remember that too. Shit.